Hello and welcome to From the Boundary, recorded in a loft in Kent. Let's see what these two idiots have to say this week. Before they start though, I must ask you to follow, like and repost all their amazing social medias. Search From the Boundary on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok for updates and clips.
Hello and welcome back. Before we start this week's podcast, we need to discuss our Patreon. Sam, what is our Patreon?
Our Patreon, Tom, is patreon.com/From the Boundary Podcast. And on Patreon, it means that you can support us.
If we sound professional, it's because we messed it up the first time. And how much does our Patreon cost, Sam?
Our Patreon is £5 a month. And for that, oh, fucked it up, I'm not restarting. For that, you get these episodes that you're listening to now early. So rather than getting them on a Monday like everyone else, you can get them on a Saturday. You also get a discount on merch, which we haven't started yet. But when it starts, you'll get a discount on merch. There's also going to be extra episodes. We're going to probably aim to do one a month, potentially, probably. And we give you priority when it comes to contacting the podcast.
Excellent. Thanks, Sam.
Any other questions about it?
Not for now.
So, to reiterate, patreon.com/From the Boundary Podcast for just £5 a month, which is less than a pint in most places, isn't it? Basically,
down here it is, yeah.
Basically, buy me and Tom a pint a month, and then we'll be very happy with you. Thank you. So, do you reckon ducks look up? No, not so much. Do they look up? Can ducks look up? As far as I'm aware, you're not a duck.
I get enough of them.
Well, yeah, but if you're wondering why that didn't get a very good reaction, it's because it's the third time we've now recorded.
The second time we've done that.
Second time we've done that joke. Third time we've done recording because
my audience is one. One in this room.
To be fair, I do normally laugh at your jokes. You just have to
make them good or not repeat them.
There is a button here that says ducking.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Ducking?
I've got, yeah, do you like my new equipment?
Yeah, it's very fancy.
It was off Temu, which could be explained why it's not working very well. But
well, it seems to be working now.
You're just pleased that people are going to be able to hear you.
Yeah.
And it will make my life a lot easier editing them and not having to keep listening out for the little bits where you talk and going, right, turn the volume up on that, and the bits where I talk, turn the volume down on that. But as we've just found, some idiot, and I don't want to say any names, but it was one of us, has thrown out the instruction manual before we worked out how to use it properly.
And the other idiot went and looked in the kitchen for it. I mean, there wasn't a lot of stuff in your kitchen, mate.
No, there's not, is there? Well, I've been doing DIY and everything's been put in.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Rather than go, but said it would stand out if it was there.
Yeah, everything's sort of been put back in the place it should be now.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about now being able to see the screen so you can see what's going on?
I can definitely see. We still look a bit.
I mean, I've disappeared.
You still look like one on
There we are.
You look like a bodybuilder.
I can't sit like that. I don't want to do me back in. Yeah, I think maybe next couple of weeks we probably should buy a spotlight or something to go there, because I currently look like an Inter Milan shirt. I look like a character of a video game that's not been unlocked yet.
See, you made that joke before and I still laughed.
That's because it was a funny joke.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Oi!
There we go. How are you?
Chaotic at the minute. I mean, I've had about less than an hour's sleep after work, but this has started about as chaotically as it normally does. So.
Do you not think that we probably, like, what's the word? It's character building. You think to yourself, my day couldn't get any more stressful, and then you make that half-hour drive to my house, and it all goes to shit.
Oh dear, it hasn't all gone to shit. It is now working.
Yeah, but we did start recording, or I rephrase, you got to my house 31 minutes ago.
Oh.
And so far we've recorded 2 minutes and 52 seconds. I wouldn't say it's been brilliant, mate.
Quantity over quality.
Yeah, we've got 3 attempts and none of them are very good. This is what happens when I get new stuff and then I play with the buttons. And for the first record that we recorded, the best bit of 20 minutes, I turned down the record button which is basically what tells the laptop what we say. I didn't do very well, and then the camera stopped working.
You also encouraged me to go into the rant at the start, so I was mid rant when you went, hold on.
Yeah, but as I said to you while we was looking for the instructions that I definitely think I might have thrown away, would you have rather done it 20 minutes into the beginning of the episode, or at the end of the episode when it's closer to 8 o'clock and you've now got to record the whole episode?
I think if it was nearly 8 o'clock when we were like, I didn't record, I'd be like, well,
we're coming back tomorrow. We'll have another go.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been happening tonight, put it that way.
Somewhere to be, is it?
Well, I thought I'd been recording for an hour and a half and then discovered that absolutely everything I said hadn't been recording. I would not be in the best of moods.
Why change the habit of the last 25 episodes?
I mean, is this the 26th?
This is episode. Yeah, I think it is episode 20. It's episode 26, 27. We should know because last one was our end of season award show, and we should definitely know what episode that was. I think that was episode 26. I think we're on episode 27.
Oh.
And just to throw a bit of a spanner in the works, next week we need to do a double header because the following week I'm on call, and then when we come back to recording live, we need to do another double header because the following week I'm on holiday. So I'm not gonna have a fucking clue. But the good news is, if there's any problems on that second one when I go on holiday, you won't be able to get hold of me because I'll be on a Spanish island. I'll be on a sunbed somewhere. And I tell you what,
will be able to get hold of you. I'm pretty sure you have internet.
No, I'm turning my phone off. I will turn my phone on for 3 hours on a Monday to listen to the episode and then watch the episode just to get our numbers up.
Do you actually do that when you go on holiday? Do you like turn everything off?
No.
No,
I'm on O2. I get everything for free.
But people do it and like say, "Oh, I had a non-screen day." Like, what the fuck's that?
Yeah, but is it not like weird?
Yeah, precisely. What do you do?
Because no, but I stopped halfway through a sentence I didn't mean to stop on. But do you not find it weird that these people like go, "Oh, do you know what? I'm gonna go and have a detox."
Yeah.
Every single fucking holiday was a detox because I only had a PlayStation and I couldn't take that in my suitcase.
No, that's true.
I didn't get any screen time on holiday because nothing was fucking mobile.
Yeah, true.
So other than that, how are you? Other than spending the last half an hour trying to work out technical. This is why we need a producer. Because we could just go, it's not working.
Yeah, but then, to be fair, there's no guarantee that producer's not exactly going to be a professional. It would be someone that's looking to sort of learn, so we could be helping them as much as they're helping us.
But
yeah,
thanks to you, well, no, thanks to me and you attempting to swap it, we do have a spare microphone that they can have now, so we can all talk.
Yeah, as
friends.
Yeah,
a bit like the cricketers did last week. They really was chatty, weren't they?
Yeah, that reminded me of. I don't know if you've seen it, but on Big Bang Theory, there's a line where Sheldon, like they're doing a video call and everyone is in. Sheldon's not in the room, but everyone else is in the room, and he says, "I consider you 3 of my dearest friends and 1 treasured acquaintance," and they all look at each other like,
"Which one am I? Well, yeah, which one am I? Am I a friend to you?"
Yeah, you're a friend.
I was going to say this is going to be an awkward fucking next couple of weeks, isn't it? Until I come back from holiday. And he said, "Oh, you stick it up his arse. I got him a new microphone and everything." I treated him, and I'm not even a friend to him.
Yeah, no, but it was quite funny. I think you got to do it in a group, haven't you? Like, got to say it after cricket or something. You know,
I've really enjoyed playing with some of you.
I consider you 5 really good friends, and there's 8 of us in the room. I'm thinking, who the fuck's he not talking about?
Yeah, but when it's me, it's going to be obvious, isn't it?
Probably.
And I'd just like to say, you 7, cracking lads, you're a dickhead. Fuck off.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm straight down the line. I don't do messing around with feelings.
No. Bit on the nose, but there you go.
No, it's true though, isn't it? I don't exactly take other people's feelings into consideration when I speak.
No.
Case in point being a few times this week where we've discussed before that I go to therapy, and I went to therapy last night, and she went, "So how's it been?" And I went, "Do you know what? I've been having some really weird reactions to, like, people been giving me some weird reactions." And she went, "What do you mean?" I went, "Well, I always used to be so emotionally invested in everything. Like if someone said something to me, I was always angry or upset, or I'd be really happy. Whereas now people say stuff to me, and I'm just a bit blasé. I just went, "Can you give me an example?" I went, "Yeah, one of my friends told me about their son has fallen off and broken their wrist, fell off a bench at school, and broke their wrist." And I went, and she went, "And how did you respond?" I went, "Oh." Well, that was it. I was like, "Yeah, I didn't know what to say." And she was like, "What was going through your head?" "I don't care." Why are you telling me I don't care?
I'm pleased you left that in the internal monologue rather than just blurted out, "I don't care, mate, I'm leaving."
But you know full well with me, there is going to be a point where my brain goes, "One of these I'm not supposed to." You know, like, what was it that did that joke where it was like, I was in a queue, and you know when you're in a queue and someone's making a mistake, and everyone goes,
Yeah.
but one person went, "For fuck's sake!" And you're like, no, you think for fuck's sake. You do.
Yeah, you'll definitely. It'll be an interesting experience when you're captain next year. Follow my lead, except when I do this, and this. So don't follow that. But other than that, follow my lead.
There is going to be, I'm going to make like a fines list and just be like, this applies to everyone, apart from me. Because if I do it, it's normal. If you do it, you'll be seen as a prick.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
So we talk about the date again.
Yeah, we'll have another go at the date story.
Or
didn't we just make sure everything's working?
Yeah, it is working.
Yeah, because I love you to pieces, but I don't want to hear this story for the third time.
I don't want to tell it for a third time. I don't really want to tell it for a second, but here we go anyway. So.
Right, shall we just give the cliff notes? You went on a date.
Yeah, went on a date.
She was a bit weird.
Well, yeah, she just friend zoned me, and it was just a bit weird.
And then before it cut off, we got to the stage where you needed a piss, but you just walked her to the bus stop.
Yeah.
And go.
So basically, we met at like 7.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I've just given the cliff notes. I don't want to tell the story again. Right, I'll give the cliff notes for it. You're starting again.
I'm not starting from the start, but basically we met at 7, and I thought that we'd go for a few drinks, and then it would lead to food. But it became apparent, like, every time I suggested something, she was like, "Oh, I don't like Mexican, or I don't really want a Nando's." So.
Do you reckon she might be just racist?
What if I'd offered? Well, I was going to say, but McDonald's, that's American.
That's American. You want
full
English?
Yeah.
But you go for full English.
That fish and chip place is good in Canterbury. It's fucking expensive, though. Do you know which one I mean? The one by HMV.
Yeah. The one of the only HMVs that's still hanging on for dear life somehow. But yeah, no. If maybe that's where you went wrong. You was offering her things like, "I could take you for a Chinese, you could go for a Mexican." If you said, "We'd take you for a nice British fish and chips," I mean, you'd never have wanted to see her again, but she might have. She might have put out. God, fucking hope that she never finds this episode. I know that you're never going to talk again, but fuck me, I hope she never finds this.
No.
When we're rich and famous, she goes, "Oh, I better listen to her." Oh, fuck.
It's like, I'm going to sue you for, that £1 million you made. Some of that's coming straight back to me, you prick.
Hang on, have we actually said anything?
No, not really.
Apart from insinuating that she might have been racist. But that is just a speculation.
Yeah.
At no point have I said that she is.
No.
I've just
She was quite nice. To be fair, it was all right. It was obviously I wanted it to go slightly differently, but she was all right. It wasn't really grim, and it wasn't like she was psycho or anything. It was just, just didn't feel ready for it, and I was like, well, that's fine. Like, it's the first date. I'm not exactly going to be like, "But I think I love you." Like, it's not going to get. It's not that deep at that point, really, is it? So you're not gonna be like, "Oh, please don't leave me."
Does it ever get that deep?
No, not on a first date. No.
Does it last that long on a first date?
For
what are you talking about being deep? I feel like we might have gone down different paths here.
Yeah, heading different ways. Anyway, that's
the professionalism we've come to love, Tom. I'm just going to try and steer this away from that.
So walking to the bus stop, and I realised, so we started at the bottom of the high street, I walk into the top, and I realised, because I'd had a few drinks, I was caught a bit short, because the seal hadn't gone, but it was kind of going, and it's a bit like, well...
It's a long drive back from Canterbury town centre to your house. It's a long ass drive,
well, especially when you need a wee, like trying to focus. Yeah, it's not ideal. So basically, we walked past McDonald's, and I thought, as we were sort of chatting, I thought, right, I'll go to the McDonald's, and then as we walked past, I realised they were boarding up the upstairs, so you couldn't go upstairs to use the toilets there, which I can kind of understand because of all the kids being little shits and stuff. But also, I was kind of thinking, well, that's now off the list. There's those public toilets by the bus stop. They're council run, so they're 9 to 5. So they're shut.
No one in the council works 9 till 5.
So they were shut. So I was thinking, right, this is great. But you know when you like need to go to the toilet, you think about it more and more. And you're like needing it more and more.
Yeah.
So
you mean like the one where you've just got into bed and you're trying to tell yourself you don't need a wee, and then by the time you've had that internal conversation of no, I don't need it. Oh fuck it, I have to
yeah. So exactly. So, but I was kind of like, well, I don't really know where I'm going now. And I was thinking, I don't really want to stay in Canterbury because I'll just be on my ones and be a bit shit. So, and I don't really want to go into somewhere. So, can I have a table for one for food? And then literally just run to the toilet. Obviously, I would have stayed for food, but...
right, I'll put a pin in the story because we're getting to the bit that I haven't heard.
Yeah, I've heard this bit, haven't you? I think.
No, not on pod.
Oh.
Remember, we've been here twice already. Have you never done that? Have you never been out for dinner by yourself?
No.
Have you not?
I haven't been to the cinema by myself. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
No. So I used to do a lot of working away.
Yeah.
And I'd go down to Bournemouth on my own for weeks on end. That's brilliant. Honestly. Because...
I think you just look like a weirdo.
No, I went down. I was working away when Avengers Endgame came out. And do you know what was so good about going to see it on your own?
Well, no one's to just drag you.
Exactly. There was no one sat next to me going, so who's he again? I could just sit there going, living my full nerd life. Honestly, you should do it.
I think the thing is, once I went out on a Friday night.
Once I was a rich man. Doobie.
Not quite. Once went out on a Friday night, and I walked to Weatherspoons on the Saturday morning, and I was hanging out my arse, and I don't know why, I ended up having eye contact with this one bloke from like a group, and like my food came out. I ordered full English because I was hanging out my arse, and the food came out, and I was sort of like sort of had weird eye contact with him. I think I was pissing him off the fact I was looking at him, and then I had my food in front of me and I wasn't eating it. And then sort of he went up to go to the toilet. It's like, do you have a problem with me? I was like, no, sorry, I'm just really.
I have a problem with life.
Just have a problem more with myself. But obviously, I was pissing him off by this point, and I was on my own. And I was a bit like, well, I've got a full English in front of me. I can't function well enough to eat the fucking thing. I'm just looking at it. Now pissed off someone just because I'm randomly staring at him. And I'm all on my own, and I really just need to figure out what I'm doing at this point. So yeah, that kind of freaked me out in terms of eating on my own, because I probably needed someone to go, Tom, you need to like do something. You just
basically you need a minder. That's what you're trying to say.
Only when I'm hanging out my ass. So but yeah. So anyway, back to the date story.
Yeah, go back.
So I was like, well, I don't think I'm making it back to Faversham. So, and there's toilets in the car park. Again, council run toilets, 9 to 5. So they weren't open either. So at this point, and I didn't really want to do it. I was like, fuck it, I'm not going home. And so I basically found a corner. And I was just like...
What? Hang on, corner of the car park or corner of the stairs?
Corner in the car park.
I mean, I didn't realise that was... When you said corner, when you sent me the voice note telling me what had happened on Friday, I thought you meant corner of the stairs. And I thought, well, that's normal, that's where everyone goes.
No, like, it's not...
It was you just pissing against someone's Porsche.
No, so yeah, exactly. I wasn't in the middle, like...
Just over the edge of the building, like, hey!
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't doing that. I was like, sort of, I had half an idea where the cameras were, and I was kind of doing it away from those and in a corner.
I thought you was doing it, the way you said that, I thought you was doing it into the camera. I did that ridiculously well, didn't I?
So yeah, so I didn't really want to do that, but also like, but logically, what was the alternative? Like, I didn't
piss yourself.
Well, yeah, but it was the only other alternative, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I tried the 2 public toilets, and like, surely when people in the evening, that's when more people are going to need a public toilet because they've been out on the piss. And they are pissed, so they're going to need a toilet. So, but it didn't make any sense because they were.
Yeah, but what you probably could have done is gone for a piss prior to leaving wherever you was being.
I had been about 20. Yeah, I had been about 15, 20 minutes before he left, and basically the seal had kind of gone a little bit, and it was a bit like I'm going to look like a right
weirdo.
Yeah, I'm constantly going for a piss. So I kind of.
No, you wouldn't look like a weirdo. You've either got a bladder of a child or a cocaine problem.
So I would have looked like I had a bladder of a child. But to be fair, having been friend zoned, I wouldn't have been that fussed about it knowing. But at that point,
Do you think that you should be? Is this you sort of making a plea to be told at the beginning of the date whether it's going on?
Yeah.
I sit down and just be like, right, is this going to end up in me being friend zoned? Why? What makes you say that? Because if it is, I'm just gonna fuck it, go all out,
yeah.
slob.
But like there's public toilets. There are public toilets, but if they're not open, what use are they to the public? What's the point in them? 2 public toilets are tried.
I feel like public toilets are also a bit of a breeding ground for.
Possibly.
Yeah.
You have to pay though, don't you, to get into one of them?
Yeah, unless you're very, very clever, who, like my dad, when he was on holiday in the Isle of Wight, went to use a public toilet and just walked out, and the person after him just walked in because he literally opened the door and went, "Do you want to go in?" Yes. "Oh, don't. Yeah, I fucking pay 20p. Just go in." What? You can't do that. Fucking watch me.
Yeah. But yeah, I can. Yeah, but if the public toilets, if you remember the public, like I was a member of the public that needed a toilet, but I didn't have anywhere to go because they were all shut. All the fucking public toilets are shut. It's just like, well, what alternative really was there? There wasn't, other than holding it. But then even then, I would have had to get back to Faversham, and that would have been one hell of a drive. Just.
Bit like that. Which James Bond is it where he runs along the side of the train and then jumps on the back, and it's like that bloke just goes, "Someone wants to get home."
Yeah.
Be you, wouldn't it? You'd be like fucking Lewis Hamilton's just go down, little casual drive, and he's gone.
But if it comes up, like if I get a council thing, just like I thought I did it away from the cameras, but say if it got me on the cameras,
Hang on.
then like.
What would they get you for on the camera?
Public urination, I suppose, technically, isn't it?
Is that an actual thing?
No, I don't. Not for that sort of thing. I think that's for like basically walking around with your cock out, like pissing.
I don't think it's public urination. Do you mean public indecency?
No, well, I suppose. But public urination's like walking down the high street and having a piss, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
not.
but is that an actual thing? I think you'll find it's public indecency.
Okay, well. I don't think it was that. But like, also, what was the alternative? Like, I just wanted a genuine alternative.
I cannot wait till next week when there's going to be an update on this, and you're like, "They fucking find me." You're not going to believe it. So, other than that,
yeah.
How was your weekend?
It's pretty meh at the minute, to be honest, because like, going through the process of buying a flat, and nothing's really happening at the minute because it's in the really slow stage. So it's just kind of like next week. Try and move it forward. Nothing's really happened.
It's like trying to move a wardrobe, isn't it?
It's just not really happening. So yeah, it's all a bit circular at the minute, but hopefully moving in the right direction, even if it doesn't feel like it's fucking moving.
I'm on top of the world. I've done DIY.
I was going to say, how's your weekend?
I did DIY. I did DIY. Took my television off the wall and found fucking dot to dot between raw plugs behind it. That was interesting.
Yeah, that does look interesting.
I might. I've got a spirit level down there because I've put all my TV and everything now out in the conservatory. I may just draw the lines.
Yeah.
Just see what happens. What do I do if I like draw it and it's really like someone's drilled all these holes and put raw plugs in, but really it's like the sign of a devil. Or what would be worse, swastika or sign of the devil? Like swastika, I've got to ask questions about the person that lived there before me, haven't I?
Yeah.
One with the devil, you can kind of go, yeah, well, it's been polyfilled anyway.
It's like the very sort of Sunday League where the groundsman's a bit pissed and sort of, I'm just going to do the lines, lads, and it's, hey.
I can't wait to take a throw in from that bit.
Yeah, it is a bit like that, isn't it? But,
so other than that, though, I can't remember doing anything.
I can't even remember what I was at Ramsgate last week, so that's all right.
You sound like you want to throw yourself out the window.
It was top v top, both 100% records. Obviously, it's fairly early in the season. 5-0. You're gonna lose your 100% record. That's the way to do it.
Oh dear.
Yeah, 1-0 down after 20 odd minutes, and they might come back. Actually, it's been quite nice sort of reporting on those games because what you want to happen is these games, you want the result decided basically with about,
About
20
20 minutes.
30 minutes to go. And when it's like they're banging in the 5th in the 70th minute, you're like, well, I know what's going to happen. So you can obviously like tweak it if you need to at the end.
They're definitely going to win this one.
Yeah. So, but what you definitely don't want is a fucking like 91st minute, team's losing, 91st minute, equalise, bollocks, rewriting it. 92nd minute, they score winner, bollocks, rewriting it.
Rewrite it again. That would probably do my head in. He's going like, da, 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 da. And I think the manager's probably going to say something along these lines. The manager said, exasperate, he's fucking scored. The manager said, delightfully, VAR have checked it off.
VAR in non-league.
Well, yeah, that was being optimistic, but you know what I meant.
Ah.
Do you want to talk about something cheerful then?
Yeah.
What do you think about Thomas Tuchel as England manager?
Good. I like it.
Fuck me.
You're the same
Yeah.
mindset. Yeah, it's good. There wasn't a good enough English candidate. I wanted it to be an Englishman. I always want the England manager to be English, but there isn't a good.
I'm now starting to see an issue in this state where it was like, would you like to go to? No, I don't like the Mexicans. You two would have got on well. If only she'd given you a chance.
Yeah, I would always prefer it to be an English. I think most people would. Most English people would prefer it to be an Englishman.
No, I'd prefer it with someone that won the World Cup or could get us to win a World Cup.
I
don't feel like that's too much to ask, really.
No, not at the minute. But yeah, I prefer an Englishman to manage England, but I don't think the candidates that are out there are good enough, basically. So we'll go foreign. From memories of Sven McLaren.
Sven McLaren?
Sven Goran Eriksson.
Oh my God. Yeah, Sven and Capello.
Yeah, Capello was a bit meh, but
I mean, he did get us to a World Cup.
He wouldn't have fitted like the style of football they're going to have. Now, I don't really get the whole public outcry about, oh my God, it's a German managing England. Like, we've had foreign managers before.
Yeah, but I mean, England's where was Capello from?
Italy.
Yeah. See, England's relationship with the Germans.
Yeah,
I'll just give you a little slight history lesson.
Yeah, true.
There was a thing called the World Wars.
I know, but
And England's relationship with Germany was probably at the lowest it's ever been.
well, but then in that case, we probably shouldn't have like all the trade union deals we've done for the past 60-odd years. Shouldn't have done
That
those
Brexit then
either.
fucked.
Yeah, shouldn't have done those either because you shouldn't have been dealing with the Germans if you want to go down that road. It's very
I never said I didn't.
no. So, but you
I
agree?
like a bit of bratwurst.
No. You agree Tuchel's a good appointment?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know how I don't know. But my personal opinion was I would have preferred Eddie Howe.
No, I'd have had Eddie Howe this time last year, but I don't think he's quite. And I feel like he's also kind of going, oh, I'm at Newcastle, one of the big clubs, and now I'm at
And now Real Madrid are coming in for your striker, and you're not going to be a big club much longer.
But yeah, because I'm at a big club, that's bigger than managing England anyway. Like everyone knows, the club goes over international. Probably does it, maybe a few of them. But
Ben White.
yeah, a few of them it does. But I don't think Newcastle are a big enough club to be like, oh no, I'm too. I feel like he's basically kind of gone, I'm a bit too big for this role, which he isn't.
I'd just like to point out to the listeners, those were the views of Tom, because you're aware that Newcastle have a quite fearsome fan base, quite loyal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
you're dying on this hill, are you?
yeah.
Well, you're going to be dying somewhere. Find you pinned to the Angel of the North if you carry on. Oh dear.
But then
yeah, no, I think
other,
it's
other candidates.
other
so
candidates.
You talk about Graham Potter. No,
No.
not good enough. I got hot for 5 minutes at Brighton, shit himself at Chelsea. No. And no one else. I can't think of anyone else.
Who's the one was it Juventus?
It's English.
No, it wasn't English.
Oh.
Allegri.
Yeah. No,
But
I'd have
it's weird because I know it sounds really stupid to say this when none of the recent England managers have had experience managing an international, apart from Roy.
Yeah.
He's the last one, and he had managed another country before us. Something like little Icelandic.
No, it was Finland.
Was it Finland?
Hmm.
Yeah, boy. Thomas Tuchel, for all that he's won, she has a bit of a reputation for not lasting very long at jobs at the moment, doesn't he? Was it 18 months at Chelsea, 2 years at PSG, and 2 years at Bayern?
I mean, some of those are the clubs, to be fair. It's not
Yeah, I know,
necessarily
but
him.
it's still very...
Like, if you last more than 5 minutes at Chelsea, you've done a decent job. PSG, it was quite similar, really. They were
not Conte.
we're going to keep sacking people till we win the Champions League. Kind of had that phase.
And then lost all their players and went,
yeah.
Oh, shit. The player that's going to carry us now is... Who is it now?
Griezmann, isn't it?
No, Griezmann's back at...
Yeah.
Moani. Randall Moani.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gone well.
Hmm.
Should we talk about England cricket?
Yeah.
Okay. Should we talk about last week? That was fucking impressive.
Yeah.
Where do you want... I've done the prep for this week's episode.
I reckon it took England less time than it's going to take us to record the podcast to get 853. I mean, that's obviously not true, but...
I don't know. It depends how badly we fuck this up. So, from an England point of view, 823 for 7 was their third highest score ever.
The third highest score ever.
No, their third highest.
England's?
Yeah. It was one 900 odd. But they were talking back the years. It was the highest ever partnership.
Yeah.
Highest scoring partnership. The highest ever fourth wicket stand.
Yeah.
It's kind of a given. And it's only the third time ever that two batsmen have scored 250 plus.
Oh, okay.
Please don't ask me what the other one is. I did the research and thought Tom's not going to ask, so I'm not going to find out. Basically.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep, I thought that might be the case. Another thing, this is quite interesting. Do you know they've now conceded 500 runs 3 times?
Oh, I saw this stat, yeah.
And they've not lost any of them yet. And then we move on to Pakistan.
Yeah.
We brush past these because, let's be honest, Joe Root and Harry Brook deserve most of the time.
Yeah.
Pakistan, first team to set 500 plus in the first innings and lose by a whole innings. Until the test that's going on now that we're not going to talk about because by the time this episode comes out, that test will have finished and it won't make any sense. Their openers hadn't seen double figures in 8 innings that they'd batted together.
Oh, okay.
They were always for 1 by the time they got to double figures. It was the first time that 6 bowlers went for 100 plus runs, and it was also the lowest percentage of maidens bowled for a plus 100 overs innings. How many maidens do you reckon they bowled?
It might be none. 1.
It was 1. Yeah.
I wonder when the maiden came. Obviously,
I think it was Shaheen Shah Afridi's first over.
just have a quick look.
Well, no, saying that, it probably was, wasn't it? Because Naseem, whoever opened, it was probably the other one. Because Ollie Pope got out
Oh, yeah.
quick, didn't he? Ollie Pope got out second ball of innings over 2.
Yeah.
So whoever didn't open, so it's either Naseem Shah or Shaheen Shah Afridi.
Duckett turned out he was all right after all and just went in at 4 instead and back to few.
Well, no, to be fair, he had dislocated his thumb. I love that interview with him where he's like, "Yeah, I'll just put it back in. Is it broken? Don't know."
I'm pleased. I'm really pleased that for all the social media stuff, when England were like, I can't remember what they were, about 600 for 3 or something. For all the social media stuff of, they're saying because they'd have been the first team to get to 1,000, I think, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would have been.
Everyone was like, the game's dead. Let's just go for 1,000 runs, which to be fair, they probably would have done. I'm really pleased that they actually declared and tried to win the game because, it's amazing like how much.
But so realistically, they won it with 2 sessions essentially to spare, didn't they? Can't tell me that they wouldn't have got 180 runs in a session.
No, possibly not.
They could have quite easily got 1,000 and still won. And if you think about it, had they been able to take catches and...
But then Pakistan would have had a different mindset when they went out to bat. They'd have had 2 less sessions to bat and less pressure on them.
They weren't chasing down 800.
No, but they would have had less time. There'd have been less time in the game for them to survive. So their mindset would have been different.
They couldn't survive anyway. Pakistan must have gone out there and gone, yeah, we're playing for a draw here.
Yeah.
We've got to try and chase down 300, then set a lead.
Mm.
Like, even if they got, what was the lead? 362, was it? Something like that, wasn't it? Even if they got 363 before the final wicket fell. Imagine Zach Crawley and Ben Ducky going out and going, what are we chasing down? 1. I reckon we might be in for this one, boys.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but I'm pleased they didn't go for the 1,000 and they actually tried to win the game.
Yeah, I'm glad that they didn't prioritise getting 1,000 runs over winning. Ollie Pope seriously needs to go away and have a quick look at himself, because he's the only batsman that I say didn't cash in. I mean, Duckett was 80 odd, was he?
Yeah,
Crawley's 72.
Yeah, 70.
All the other way round. They obviously Joe Root 262. Harry Brook 317. The only batsman that really didn't cash in was Ollie Pope. And did you know that in all the time that he was captain, so while Ben Stokes was injured,
Yeah.
so what was that? It's been 2 series?
Yeah.
Sri Lanka and then the first one, this one. He's gone up for 13 reviews. How many do you think he's got right? None. He has a track record of none. They were talking about it on BBC on 5 Live today, listening to the second test, and it's the highest for getting to 10 reviews and not getting any right.
Oh dear. Yeah, it wasn't his finest hour. He must have been sat in one way. He must have been sat there and loving it, but in another, he's like,
I could have been doing this.
yeah.
I could have been doing this.
Might be a few runs out there that I've left.
I might have left a few out there. I don't know what I've quite done there.
Yeah.
No, I mean, let's talk about the pitch.
We're using the same picture, aren't we?
Yeah, but I can kind of understand their reasoning. So I don't know if you saw at the end of it, that was the 11th worst rated pitch since they did this pitch ranking systems, whatever it is. It's only my eye. The 11th worst pitch,
Yeah.
and the 9th flattest pitch, which I thought was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So the reason they've gone for it on the same pitch is because they're concerned that if they had another pitch,
You might have had the same.
You might have had the same result. And let's be honest, it didn't play into Pakistan's fucking favours, did it?
No.
They did take a bit of a clumping. And then for this test, and I suppose proof's in the pudding, we're recording this on Wednesday. It's day
2 just finished.
Day 2 has just finished, yes. And 4 wickets for 14 runs, all down to the spinners. They may have had a point proven. I've just realised we're in winter now. The boiler's going to come on.
Right.
The radiators are on downstairs.
Okay, I did wonder what that was. It's almost like trying to turn a radio on or something in the house. It's just kind of really slow at sort of reacting.
I told you it's a ghost in here.
Yeah.
I've told you before it's haunted. You just didn't believe me. Now you're seeing it firsthand, aren't you?
Yeah, it is a bit spooky.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Like, as much as the pitch obviously deteriorated, it's amazing. Like what scoreboard pressure can do in terms of what Pakistan did in the 3rd innings, because I mean, England did very well, obviously, to get. They did well to stick at it and get them all out for 500 odd or 550.
Yeah.
Then they obviously batted very well, because you don't get 800 by being lucky.
Imagine going out. And how do you think that went? It's a bit lucky, wasn't it? It's just a bit lucky.
But then obviously did well to bowl Pakistan out second time round. But Jesus, they gave some of those wickets away.
Yeah.
Some of the thought process, but obviously it's like where you spent all that time in the field, isn't it? Your brain's just kind of.
Well, no, it's not, because I don't know if you saw Pakistan's average scores. There was, I think, one batsman, and I want to say it was Baba, but I don't think it was. There was one batsman who had a second innings average above 25.
Oh.
They just can't do it in the 3rd innings.
That's
They
really
just
weird.
collapse.
Yeah.
Should we talk about some good cricket though?
Yeah.
Should we go Harry Brook first?
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, slightly overshadowed his Yorkshire teammate, didn't he?
Yeah.
317 runs. Fifth highest score ever,
Yeah.
which amazed me.
I'm trying to think of so Lara's the highest
Yep.
in internationals. I'm trying to think, did an Australian, one of the not current Australians, but recently?
Graham Gooch.
Graham Gooch 333, yeah.
He was the last Englishman to do it
Yeah.
in 1990.
I'm trying to think which Australian it is I'm thinking of. There's one that sort of semi-recently retired. Not Warner, but someone got 300 odd.
I don't know. But I can give you one of the other names. Saywag, because he's coming up in a stat in a minute.
Oh, okay.
So Saywag's one of them. He's the 6th person to reach 300 plus.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going Gooch, Brook, unknown Australian that you can't remember.
Yeah. Saywag.
Saywag, Lara. Border? Would Border have done it?
Smith, did he do it?
It might have been. Did he? He's not retired.
Yeah, maybe I'm getting mixed up.
Yeah, I think you might be. The second fastest 300. Bearing in mind he did it in 310 balls.
Saywag, I guess.
298 balls
Yeah.
for his 300. 29 fours,
Yeah.
3 sixes, and a strike rate of 97. It's not bad, is it?
No.
And it also, quite interestingly, just nudges his career average to he currently has, of having played a certain amount of innings in the world, the highest career average. He averages at the moment 62 in an innings.
Jesus. That's interesting what you said at the start, though. Do you think Brook overshadowed Root or Root overshadowed Brook? I would argue it was probably more because Root got the milestone as well. It's probably more Root.
I think, for a personal point of view, I think Root did overshadow Brook. But Brook, if you look at someone who doesn't know cricket, they look down that scorecard and they're going to go, fuck me, 317.
Yeah.
It does overshadow 262 or whatever it was.
He's probably, I would say at the minute, he's probably the best all format player in the world. Like, as in terms of all 3 formats. I can't think of anyone that's as good as him that plays all 3 formats.
Yeah, no, I'm probably inclined to agree with you. In form, yeah, I think there's ones that are out of form in Test or they're out of form in the T20s or... But yeah, no, I'm probably inclined to agree with you there. He probably is the most in-form player of all 3 formats. Didn't quite come off today. We won't get into that. We can review that one next week. But it's when you look back and it was, oh, woe is us. Well, not oh, woe is us. It's all Bazball's dead after the India series. It just shows how much we missed him.
Yeah, definitely.
To come back and just...
Yeah, the only way with that number of runs scored in the first innings, the only way you can possibly even get anywhere near winning a test is through Bazball. Like, you can't...
Yeah, you're not going to be able to block this one out, are you?
Not block out. You're not going to block your way to 700 after the other team's got 500 and then skittle them for 200 in those 5 days. You're going to have to do it pretty quick.
You got to do it. And it was aggressive fielding as well. Bryden Cass, fuck me. He was putting himself about a bit, wasn't he?
Yeah. What was ridiculous about Brooks' strike rate as well is when you're out there for that long, you obviously go through like peaks and troughs. So at one point his strike rate must have been like on 250, say. His strike rate must have been like 130.
I don't think it ever was.
It must have gone up a bit.
No, I think if you watch it, you basically just see him go, right, I'll block that one, and then we'll let that one for 6, and then we'll block that one, and I've missed that one, and then that one's gone for 4. It never really dropped. It was just like sort of a gradual line of around about the 97% mark.
Okay. Well, anyway, even to like maintain a strike rate like that is pretty impressive.
Oh,
I struggle to maintain a strike rate of 9.7.
what's my strike rate? Oh, we don't work out strike rates. I was going to say my average isn't much higher, but
No.
but no, it's like, is this Harry Brook not? I'm not going to. I'm probably thinking years in the future rather than. But do you remember how when Jimmy Anderson was sent off to the farm upstate, and Gus Atkinson came in and went, "It's easy, this.
Yeah.
It's easy." Is this Harry Brook going, "Come on, Joe, come on, let's just take you back inside"?
I don't know. Joe's still got quite a few years left in him.
I think we'll come on to Joe Root, but do you think it is Harry Brook going a little bit, or maybe not so much?
Maybe just
not so much Joe Root. Is it Leave Hope?
He's maybe kind of just going like, kind of like, yeah, Ben Stokes is pretty good. Joe Root's not bad, you know. Sack when he comes off, Ben Duckett when they come off, decent. But by the way, I'm not bad either.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Like, and he's 26.
Mm.
It's really frustrating, isn't it?
Mm.
It's 5 years younger than us.
Ouch.
Yeah. Have you ever hit a 300 for your country?
No. Well, actually, yes, I have.
On the game, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done the PlayStation off.
Yeah. Did you save it first?
Yeah, obviously.
I was going to say, I'm just making sure. The way you said that, I scored 300, I turned the PlayStation off, and all evidence was lost.
Yeah.
No, I remember he just loves playing in Pakistan, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Is that 400s in three? It was 400 in 3 tests, wasn't it? Yeah. And what did he get in the other one?
90 odd.
62.
62, yeah. Not quite 90.
It's not a bad record to have.
No.
And do you know they were all at the same ground as well?
Oh, well.
They were all at Multan.
He's moving over there, leaving Yorkshire, and Yorkshire like, "Don't go to Lancashire." He's like, "Don't worry, I'm not going to Lancashire."
I'm not going to Lancashire. Have you heard of Multan?
The Multan Indians, or probably not Indians.
It's not going to be the Multan Indians, is it? In Pakistan.
The Multan
it's like
Crusaders.
It's like the Yorkshire Scotsmans. Oh dear. Yeah. Harry Brook. And then, as I just said, I feel like he was overshadowed by Joe Root. Should we talk about Joe Root? Because there's more to talk about with him.
Yeah. Excuses to not go to your brother's weddings. That is number one. Sorry, mate, I'm busy. His brother's still a pro cricketer as well, isn't he? So I guess he's probably just in the close season.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird. I think it's a bit weird to schedule the wedding for when you know your brother can't go. Is that not a bit odd?
Yeah, but
I mean, obviously they've probably agreed it, but
also, I know you're still in that friend zone stage. You don't plan a wedding weeks. They're like 3-4 years in advance. Yeah. I imagine this wedding day's probably been there for about 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
For them to turn around and go, "We're going to Pakistan." Oh,
yeah.
What he really needed was Joe Root to fall off a cliff at the end of the season. Not literally, like his form.
Yeah.
His form to fall off a cliff at the end of the season. They go, "Do you know what? I don't think we're going to take him."
I'll stub his toe or something before he heads out.
Maybe we won't take him for the first. We'll fly him out after.
Maybe that's what he was trying to do the last time he saw him before he headed to Pakistan. Maybe his brother Billy was just like booting him. Have a nice time in Pakistan. Bang, bang. Ow! I can't go to Pakistan. My brother's injured me.
Well, what happened? Well, we was playing 5-a-side and it's normally such a friendly game, but he 2-footed me at the knee.
And the ball wasn't even anywhere near me.
We hadn't even kicked off. That was what was so weird about it. So, he did, as you alluded to, overtook Alistair Cook to become England's highest ever run scorer. He's got 64 half centuries.
Yeah.
I'm going to say some stats, and then one of them's going to stick out, and then you'll be like, "Oh, I wonder why I didn't say that for the other one." So he's got 64 half centuries, 35 centuries, 6 double centuries, which puts him second on the list overall. He has 202 catches, and that was his highest test score.
Do you know the other one is with 6 double centuries?
No, but I was waiting for you to work out what I missed out saying on those other ones and why I possibly missed it out. So 64 half centuries, 35 centuries. He's second overall for 6 double centuries, and he's got 202 catches.
His bowling stats?
No. His position on the chart.
Oh, he's number one.
Because he's top for all of them. This is one of my favourite stats. And I hope you didn't just see the game on the other side that we've got to end this.
I didn't. I can't read it right in that small. From this angle.
That's not fucking hell. What doctor's handwriting? Since the third test against India,
Yeah.
he has an average of 90.
Yeah, he's so funny as well to watch because he just looks like he's loving life, and the other team's obviously trying to find ways to get him out and being nasty and snarly and everything. And he's just there like being so happy and jolly and just like, I'm enjoying this. I'm getting paid to whack a cricket ball around the field. This is really fun. And the other team are just getting more and more irate.
Yeah, getting more and more. And
it's just like, but this is fun for me. I don't mind it.
And where I've been working, I've been listening to it on Five Live, and they obviously have the effects mic. And as soon as Joe Root both of them started to get into the swing of it, Mohammed Rizwan didn't shut up. All of a sudden it was like, come on. I'm not going to do the accent because I'll get into some trouble. He's like, come on. As soon as those two were like, both past 200, he was like, fucking throw it.
Yeah.
I don't care, just get one of them out.
Yeah.
And this is what's probably puts more testament to his fitness. Because what is he now? 32? 33?
He's not that old, is he? Yeah.
No, but it's
33, I'd say.
over the age of 30, which
Yeah.
is normally where your sporting career goes downhill.
Unless it doesn't go uphill at all. And then,
Well, yeah, that's
can't
too.
go down.
That's just flat lines. So of his
At the
score,
bottom.
of his score of 262, only 68 of those runs came from boundaries.
Really?
He ran the rest of them in 30. It was hot, wasn't it? Because there's no cloud
he ran a lot
cover.
of threes, didn't he?
So and he batted all of the day 3.
Mm. Yeah, there was a point in like day 4, day 5 where by the end of the game he'd only been off the field.
He'd been off the field. No, when he got out.
Oh yeah, that was it.
When he got out, he'd only missed 8 deliveries. Off. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
For someone so fair-skinned as well, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Someone needs to be just making sure. So we're not denying his cricketing ability, but I saw this on the BBC Sport. You know, not the telecast, but when people can send their texts in.
Yeah.
And it was just after he got his. It was just after he got 72 and broke Alistair Cook's record. Do you think that the not so great record he has as England captain, which again is stupid. It's a bit like turning around and going, yeah, I know that we've just won 3 Champions League, but he's come in and he's won 4.
Yeah.
It's not not a negative record. It's still, he's got more wins than I think he had the most wins as England captain. Do you think that goes against him being classed as England's greatest?
Not really. I think like he at the time as well.
Right, before we get into that,
Yeah.
at this exact moment, who would you put in as England's greatest players?
Oh, players or captains?
Players.
Cook.
Yeah. Obviously, Root.
Root. Yeah. Flintoff.
Would you?
Yeah, I think so. Stokes.
Again, would you?
Yeah.
Not Collingwood. Not
No,
Bell.
not Collingwood. Bell, yeah.
Vaughan. Hussain.
Yeah, Vaughan.
But then, so yeah, right. But so we're putting these people in this mix. Why is he?
Gooch.
Yeah, both of them.
Both of them,
We
yeah.
carry on. 'Cause I think I may have opened Pandora's box on that one. But you got Sir Alistair Cook. Why is he not Sir Joe Root? If we're saying that he's
not retired, to be honest, like when he
Alistair
retired.
Cook hadn't.
No, true.
Alistair Cook had retired from England, but he
Yeah.
hadn't retired from playing.
And his face maybe fits that sort of thing a little bit more than Joe Root's. Actually, I don't know, but yeah, maybe a little sort of his face suits him a little bit more.
I mean, it's not like I'm going to see Sir Freddie Flintoff. I'm going to
No.
or Sir Kevin Peterson, but
Oh, we've got Kevin Peterson, yeah.
yeah, again, I don't think it's.
He'd be up there in terms of the best players to ever play for England. He'd be in that
Do you
discussion.
reckon?
You'd have to have him in the top 10.
So
Who are your 10 if you're leaving him out?
Jimmy,
Yeah,
Joe,
yeah,
Sir Alex,
yeah.
Sir Alex,
Sir Alistair.
Alistair Cook, Ian Bell,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure I'd have Ian Bell over KP.
No, I think I would. Right, okay. Let's have Botham,
Yeah.
Gooch, Boycott.
Yeah.
I'm at 7 and I've not really struggled to get there.
Yeah.
If I then thought about it, I could probably come up with 10 who get in over Flintoff, KP. Is that my Alexa going?
Yeah. No, that's your thingy again. The radiator, the boiler.
Oh, I thought my Alexa was going.
No. Yeah, and in terms of captains, I think you're going to have
Vaughan,
Strauss, Cook,
Stokes,
probably Stokes.
Hussein.
Yeah, I wouldn't have him quite in the same level as those 4, but yeah, it was good.
So do you put Joe Root in with those 4?
No.
Do you not?
Not as a captain, no.
No. That's what I'm saying. Is his path to greatness, let's say, tainted by the fact, and as I said, it's not even like a bad record.
No.
It just basically put it into a wall, didn't he?
Well,
At the end, it just went a bit.
Yeah, but it kind of. England were going for a bit of a transitional stage at that point.
You sound like a football manager.
But they were. They
Yeah.
weren't quite at the levels they are now. We didn't have all these players to choose from at that point.
Well, no,
They
they did, but they were very much whoever's top of Division 1.
Yeah. So there was that. I think, to be fair, when he took the role himself, he didn't really know where to bat himself. He found that confusing.
Yeah, because did he? So under his captaincy, he batted 5-4-3-2. He just didn't bat number 1, did he?
No, but he found that a bit confusing. So I think he probably needed to be a little bit more experienced just to go like, I'm one of the best number 4s in the world. I'm going to keep myself at 4, even if I dip. And so it probably came a bit too early in that sense because he was still kind of fucking around with 5 and then 1 and then 3 and then he was just figuring it out. So and the side wasn't quite as good or wasn't performing the way it is now. So I think like.
But is it a case of when Stokes and McCullum go and Brooke and whoever takes over coaching and then down the line when
Brooke and Anderson.
And then it's Jamie Smith and someone else. Is that when we'll look back and go? So it's almost like we're looking at what's gone around it. So Alistair Cook, Strauss. Was it Flintoff before Strauss? Flintoff's in there somewhere. KP's in there as well somewhere.
Yeah, that was not good.
No, exactly. But are we looking at that trajectory? But because it's like, let's say Joe Root's like this, and then the Ben Stokes captaincy's like this. Is it because we're looking at this going, this is where it's been? It was this, and it was like this under Cook, and it was like this under Strauss. Whereas really, when Brendan McCullum and Ben Stokes call it a day and Harry Brook does take over and someone else comes over, we'll look back at it and go, no, Joe Root, his captaincy was the norm.
Yeah.
The Brendan McCullum, Bazball, Ben Stokes era, that's the anomaly, not the other way round.
Yeah.
The anomaly isn't, at the moment, we'll look at it with a bit of rose-tinted glasses and go, yeah, Ben Stokes, Joe Root, his captaincy, that's the anomaly because we didn't win the Ashes and we didn't get close to winning the Ashes. But really, that's the norm. And what Ben Stokes is doing is the anomaly.
I also think some players are like more suited to being a captain. Like, can you imagine England going out first day of the first test of the Ashes? Australia finished the first session, going in for lunch, 140 for 1. Can you really imagine someone like Joe Root tearing someone a new one?
No,
it's not.
Yeah, but then I can't see Ben Stokes doing it.
I think he probably can if he needed to.
Do you think? I can't.
I don't think he would.
I couldn't see. Let's take, for example.
I don't think he would often, but I think he can. Well, it's Joe Root probably just can't, and he wouldn't be taken seriously if he did, because he'd just be.
He's just got that baby face, doesn't he? He's like a toddler.
Completely manufacturing his whole personality. I don't think people would buy it.
I personally don't think Ben Stokes could. I could not see Ben Stokes really stood there ripping into someone I couldn't see it.
Maybe
I could see him more being a bit like, you know, when your dad tries to be cool and he's like, I'm not angry. I'm just a bit disappointed.
Yeah, maybe he did sound like that. Yeah.
Imagine, do you know what would be worse than Ben Stokes saying that?
Bad.
Brendan McCullum saying that. Just behind them sunglasses and the sliders and just coming up to you going, I'm a bit disappointed with you today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Through the heart.
Yeah.
It would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I also think, well, maybe Ben Stokes. I think he probably could give a bollocking out in the field or in the changing room if he needed to. But also, I just feel like almost like Flintoff probably would have done similar. And in football terms, it's like kind of a midfielder. Just go, you know what? You're not doing it the way that I want you to do it. So I'm going to grab hold of the ball and I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you idiots. This is how I want it. Because to be fair, when England are struggling, the ball was thrown to Ben Stokes.
Yeah,
so Ben's now like, just give me the fucking ball and I'll sort this out.
So lads, I got this one. I can do this.
That's maybe more the way that he goes. He's kind of very much like I'm a Liverpool fan, so I'm a bit biased, but Steven Gerrard is very much like he probably wouldn't talk to you that much in the change room. He definitely wouldn't, tear into you, but also be like, but I remember them playing Real Madrid, and Real Madrid weren't quite at their best at that point. But he's basically like, so I'm going to score early, so 1-0 up.
Defend like mad.
Yeah. Then I'm going to set up Torres. That's 2-0 before half time. And pop in at half time. Go. Yeah, defensively we're doing all right. Yeah, I'll keep Fernando.
Come on, lads, could you?
I'll keep feeding you.
Yeah.
And then he got the third, and that was a crap Real Madrid side, in fairness. But he was basically kind of like against the very best. Was like, well,
I can do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't need to. Don't need you lot. I can do this. No. So what we're saying is, do we think when he retires, Joe Root will be classed as England's best ever player?
Possibly. I feel like
I like that. You put probably and possibly together and got possibly.
I feel like, when you watch Ian Bell highlights now.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I miss this. I miss that
cover drive.
Isn't
it weird that we both thought of the same thing?
Just orgasmic the way he batted.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is out of a textbook. It's so nice. I feel like there'll be lots of Joe Root memes in 15, 20 years where like England have a stinking day in the Ashes and Australia retain the Ashes, and he's just like, I'm just going to cheer myself up by looking at some clips. And it'll be like,
Joe Root trying to scoop Pat Cummins' first ball of day 4. I know what I'll do.
So, but it'd be like, you'd start by watching that, and then if you're still struggling, you'd go on to the Ian Bell stuff, whereas now you're kind of onto the Ian Bell stuff.
Yeah. Is that what you watch on YouTube?
Sometimes, yeah.
You don't watch this podcast, though, do you?
Sometimes.
No, you fucking don't. I know you don't.
I do sometimes.
Well, in honour, I'm going to move myself around because I don't want you to cheat. So, in honour of Joe Root becoming England's highest ever run scorer, we're going to have a game. Hang on, let's see what sound effects I've got. I'm going to make a theme tune. You can't hear it.
I don't know what the theme tune is. Yeah, go with that one.
That's a good theme tune. We're going to play a game of... That's not bad. Joe Root, higher or lower?
Okay.
Like...
in comparison to what?
Well, you'll see. I'll explain the rules again.
I believe.
Do you remember, like... higher. Oh, Tom, you got close. You got double figures. No, so basically...
How many times have we played at Sheldwich? Oh, I'm higher on that one.
I'd laugh so much if you was like, yeah, well, I've played more at my ground than you have. And he went, oh, for fuck's sake, he did a tour with his school. And he played there oh, fuck it.
Every day for a fortnight.
Well, do you remember, was it Bruce Forsyth? And he used to do
He was one of my granddad's friends.
The fuck? ADHD brain kicked in there, didn't it? No, but do you remember he used to do the game show and he'd have the cards? And he'd be like, you got the fight. Is it not the Price is Right? Generation game.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, higher or low, higher or low. That's what we're going to play. So, I have the amount of runs that Joe Root has got every year that he's been playing, including this year.
Okay.
That does include 2024. And we're going to play a game of higher or lower. So in 2012, he scored 93 runs in the test team. This is in the test team.
Okay.
Did he score? Was the amount of runs he scored in 2013 higher or lower than 93?
Given the way his career's gone, I'm going to have to go with higher.
It was. He scored 862 runs in 2013. So in 2013, as I just said, he scored 862 runs. Did the amount of runs he scored in 2014, was that higher or lower than 2013? There's a lot of numbers in this. This is going to get confusing.
Again, going to go higher.
Lower. I need a pen so I can see. It was lower. He only scored 777 runs.
Okay.
So, 2015, did he score more runs than 777?
Higher.
He did. He scored 1,385 runs. 2016, did he score more runs than 1,385?
That's where it's hard, because there's got to be a drop-off of some description at some point.
Oh, the drop-off's coming. The drop-off is coming. I was writing these going, God, fuck me, this is going to be a tough... Oh, no, that one's not.
But I feel like... He must have had a year where he was injured or something.
Yeah, but I don't think he ever has been, has he?
Not majorly, no. I'll go. What was the number again?
1,385 runs.
Go slightly higher.
It was in 2016. He hit 1,477 runs.
Okay.
Right. 2017. Did he score more runs than 1,477?
It's got to be slightly lower.
Is that what you're going for? Lower? Yes. He scored 966. In 2018, did he score more or less, higher or lower than? I can't even remember the fucking terms that you used in this game. Did the amount of runs he scored in 2018, was that higher or lower than 966 runs?
Higher.
It was lower. It was 948 runs.
Oh.
In 2019, did the amount? Oh, I can't get the terminology right. In 2019, was the amount of runs he scored higher or lower than 948?
Higher.
No, it was lower again.
Again?
It's 851 runs. 2020.
Higher. It's got to be.
I haven't even said. So 20.
It's got to be higher than 800.
You reckon?
It's got to be.
Are you going higher?
Yeah.
Without even thinking about it. It was lower. He scored 464.
What the hell?
It's COVID year.
Oh yeah.
I thought you was going to get that year of COVID, wasn't it? When they had to. They didn't play as many games, did they?
No. Okay.
2021. Did he score? Was the amount of runs scored in 2021?
Higher.
It was. He scored 1,708 runs.
Okay.
In 2022, was it higher or lower than 1,708?
God, it's got to be a bit lower.
It was. It was 1,098. In 2023, was it higher or lower than 1,098 runs?
Higher.
That was lower. He's only got 787 last year. Don't forget, he didn't get many at India.
Yeah.
Didn't get. Was he one of the people that actually had quite bad ashes as well, didn't he?
Yeah. Maybe he should be hanging up his boots.
And the amount of runs that he's got in 2024. Bear in mind, we haven't finished yet.
Yeah.
Because we've still got the Pakistan tour, and then we've got New Zealand still in 2024 to come. Has he got more or less runs than, or higher or lower runs than 787?
It's got to be higher. It's got like further than there.
Oh yeah, that's probably a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. 1,248 runs this year,
Yeah.
and he's still got
Another
another
potential
potential.
2,000 in a year. Surely not.
1,000. According to Crick Info or whatever website I used, there that was 1,900 was the highest.
Ah. What was the 1,900 so far?
I knew you were going to do that as soon as I fucking put it down. No. So the highest he's ever got is 1,708. That was in 2021. He's on 1,248 already this year.
Okay.
And he's still got one against, well, an innings and a test against Pakistan. And is it 3 against New Zealand?
Yeah.
So another 6. In essence, potentially another 9 innings
God.
to break 750 runs.
So I got about 5 right, and I reckon I probably got. So I probably got more right than I got
You probably
wrong.
did get more. If I'd had a pen, I could have sat there and marked it for you.
And if I used my brain a bit with some of those. See, that's the thing with when I watched earlier this week. There's a new Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and when I watch some things like that, you watch like the £64,000 question. You're like, oh my god, I know this, but I know like if I was in the studio, because I kind of half logically worked out it's not that one, it's not that one. He used 50-50. It's got to be.
I always think I'd be like brilliant at catchphrase because I'm really good at home. But at home I can pause it.
Yeah.
Say what you see. I can see. And play. But have you tried that one? Have you played that 1% Club?
Yeah.
Lee Matt. Some of them questions. There's some quiz shows that I watch, and I feel like I have to give myself a point for understanding the question.
Yeah.
Like if you ever walk in, like my dad will watch University Challenge, and they'll be like, and the sphere of this and the under and the answer is, and you go, and I'll be like purple, and they'll be like 38. Hey, what? How did that happen?
Yeah.
I'd give myself a point, but the 1% Club, I don't know whether it's the ADHD or the autism. But one of them, my brain just clicks, and it's like, oh, that's it. There was one. It was like one of the questions. I was like, what number is represented here? And it was like teen. And everyone's round Rosie's, and she's like, I reckon it's something to do with the amount of E's. And I was like, it's 18. It's 8 teens.
All right.
I don't know how.
Yeah. What I love about that show is, and I don't mean this. I'm saying this in general.
This is going to be disrespectful. You're about to say this with no disrespect, and then be awfully disrespectful.
It's not really to do. 1% Club is not really to do with how smart you are. It's more to do with how your brain works. Like sometimes because I can do shorthand. Sometimes they'll have them up where like they remove the vowels, which is essentially what shorthand is.
Yeah.
And it'll be like the 20% or the 10% question. I've already got the 80% or 90% question wrong. But the 10 or 20% question I can get right.
You get all the way to the end and go, I would have won. What about those 3 you got wrong at the beginning? Oh, well, yes.
But it's so weird how like. It's so weird how it shows how everyone's brain's different. Because some people, and obviously some people are just really smart and good at that show, but it's like you say, it's like just teen, and it's just like, oh, it's obvious 18. So and everyone's trying to sort of figure it out. And sometimes I'm like, like I watch it with my family, and then sometimes I'm like, I've got it, and they're like, you can't have got it. It's a 10% question, and it's only been up on the screen for 10 seconds. I'm like, I've got it.
My brain works in weird ways.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, I do like the 1%. I do think I'd do well on catchphrase though.
Yeah.
But I always think I'd do well on catchphrase because you get to take whatever money you win.
Yeah.
So I'd just be shouting out random stuff like dog, cat, lemon. Say what you see. Screen. We're gonna need you to be more specific. Big screen. I feel like that would probably be where I'd fall down a little bit. Although the one I don't like is tipping point.
Yeah, okay.
Because and the reason I don't like tipping point is because you go through it and you get to the end and they go, so would you like to, we will take your £2,000 that you've won and we will give you 3 counters. And you will, if you get down the jackpot, you can walk away with £10,000. And they go, no, thank you. I don't take my that's really important to me. I can pay off I can put petrol in my car.
Yeah.
Once. I can put petrol in my car with this £2,000. And they go, right, yeah, so he's decided he's going to take the money. But we're going to make him put them in anyway.
Yeah.
Just like, and then it's always that moment when they go, and one goes down and you see the relief. It's like, nowhere near. I've made the right choice. And it's always on the second one. All of a sudden the jackpot one goes on the edge and you'll see him go, oh. And would you like to put it in drop zone 1? No, I want to put it in drop zone 4 so it's fucking nowhere near the jackpot.
Yeah. But that's another one where it's like, you just kind of, you can see it sort of teetering over the edge. You're like, if you got 3 more counters, surely you'd go for it. But I think if you've got like 2 or 3 grand and you're actually there and they're like, we're going to physically give it to you in a minute. Obviously, they don't physically give it to you.
Ben Shepherd's just like, 1, 2, 3. How much is it? Oh, okay, I'll figure it out.
but when it's physically there in front of you and you're like, I've almost won this amount of money, it's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
This has taken a dramatic steer away from
Cricket.
and it's turned it into TV show reviews.
Trying to think of other quiz shows. Do you remember Golden Balls? Jasper Carrot, Steal or Split?
Oh yeah, Steal or Split. That's funny at the end.
Yeah, because there was always one.
Yeah.
And you could always tell which one it was going to be.
Yeah.
You could always tell which one it was
You
going
can
to be.
trust me. You can trust me. I would never do anything to hurt you.
Yeah, this has turned into therapy again, isn't it?
Still, take the bitch's money.
Yeah, when they're like, I think we've done really well to get here.
Mm.
Yeah, I think we can be proud of ourselves. And let's be honest, taking away that money, even half of it's really good. Yeah, I think we're going to do some stuff here. This is going to be really good. And what would you like to do? I'd like to take all of it, please.
Yeah.
And what's she put? Sure.
Why don't they both steal? I guess they both.
No,
carry on
neither.
hard.
So if they both steal, neither of them got them.
Ah.
If they both shared, they got half
Yeah.
each. And if one stole and one shared,
They stole it.
they took all of it.
Bad to get off the set.
Alive. Can you imagine if someone did that to you? Wait, fucking get back here.
Yeah. Make sure those TV cameras are still rolling. We're gonna get a murder on screen.
What you couldn't see is like at the end, Jasper Carrot would go, and thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next week. And he'd go out, and Jeremy Kyle would come in. I'd be like, on this week's episode,
Yeah.
the chase. I reckon I could do well on the chase
I think
with the other people, like the cash. Is it the cash builder?
Yeah, who's a really big one?
Lebet.
Yeah, the
Beast.
beast. So if you got him, I'd be like, there's no point. And I would literally, I would get to
Him.
the end, and I'd be like, I wouldn't. They'd say, here's your cash builder. You got 3-step head start. I'd be like, there's no point. It's him. Like
Him or Anne Hegarty. I often think with Anne Hegarty, more on the one-to-one bits, when Anne Hegarty, and she goes, I'm going to give you've done well on that cash builder, you got £6,000. And you're like, if you'd like to take a step closer to the chaser, I'll give you £6 million. And what if you'd like to take, and if you take a step closer to home, we're going to take your house. We're not going to take money, we're going to take your house. And I'd still be going, I'll take the house. Take my house. I need every single step I can get.
Yeah.
I'm trying to...
Talking of like the kind of steal or share thing, one of the new dating ones, Love It's Blind, is a bit like that. It's a bit.
I can't do that.
It's kind of cool in a way because you kind of. The idea is it does sound really sort of.
Is that the one
snobbish.
where they have to talk through a wall to each
Yeah.
other? Oh, no, bollocks.
But it does sound really snobbish, but you do kind of get to know the person before you're attracted to the face and stuff, which is, I guess, is quite cool. But one person got absolutely launched because this woman was stuck between marrying him and marrying someone else. And basically he proposed first and she was still very unsure. So married him. And then there's this bit where they first meet for the first time and he proposes. No, and he put the wedding ring on the wrong finger. I'm like, well, you're meeting your wife for the first time. I know you've been speaking and stuff, but you're meeting your wife for the first time. You're allowed to put it on the wrong finger. And then he said something about, like they were chatting and just saying, oh, I can't believe it's you, and you know, you're so pretty, blah, blah, blah. We're really going to be doing this, like, how exciting. And he said something about, oh, I'm not sure I could pick you up. Because he went to sort of she said something about whisking her down the aisle or something after the wedding, picking her up. He said, oh, I'm not sure I could do that. And then she sort of basically U-turned on everything that she'd done in terms of marrying him and decided to marry the other bloke. And she was like, yeah, so when he put the ring on the wrong finger, that was a sign. I'm like, well, he's a human being. He's allowed to be nervous and do something slightly incorrect for once.
But are you, because, like, realistically, it's a game show. You're not really married, are you? It's like Rosie watches Married at First Sight.
Yeah.
And she puts that on, and I sit there going, I just can't believe he's talking to someone else. And I'm like, dickhead, you've been married a day.
Yeah.
He's gone into a random flat. He's not seen anyone for about a week. He's just been paired with this person, and like you two are married now. You're going off on a honeymoon. He's come back and gone, who are you then? I'm like, oh, so you like that? And she's going, I just can't fucking believe it.
Yeah.
I'm sat here.
Yeah.
And it's just not showing me any attention. And you're like, Bitch, there's 3 other people. Go and talk to them.
Yeah.
Go and see what one of them wants to talk to you about.
It is weird. There was one on Love Is Blind actually from the show, from the series. They were like the in couple. They were like that. Oh, these two look perfect for each other. He's like a businessman in London. She's quite successful in whatever she does. I can't remember what she did. But she was a
It's good to know you pay attention.
But she was like a business lady of some description in Ireland. But she was like, oh, he was saying stuff about, oh, it's a bit complicated, but I've got my own property in London. And she was like, right, okay. And basically, by the time they did the review show, they'd split up. And the other couples were still together, but they split up. Basically, she said that he was lying. It turned out, like, on social media, on the TikToks, when they start doing all their lies, because obviously they've got so many followers now, it's like, he lived in, like, a house share, so technically he owned it, but, like, he had to rent all the other rooms out. So when she was like, I'm going to give up my job, she was sort of obviously they've started seeing each other before and like figuring all the stuff out, like how they're going to work and stuff. And she was like, when you said you had your own house, I thought you meant you owned your own house. He was like, I do own this house. And she was like, yeah, but you don't own enough or don't make enough to not have to rent out every other room. We would live together in one room in like a 4-bedroom house. That wasn't really how you sold it to me. And so they started arguing about that, and then he basically just kind of sacked it off and basically never went to Ireland, even though she was sort of coming and still trying to figure out a way they could be together. And it's just like, some of them, it's so weird, and it's just like, oh, that's a shame. They seem really good together on the TV show, and you're like, yeah, but it was a TV show, like Molly May and
Tommy Fury. They've just split up, haven't they?
Yeah. I mean, Molly May is a very attractive woman, but also I'm not going anywhere near her because imagine you're the new boyfriend or husband.
Imagine being
stepdad.
Coming in as stepdad. All right.
And Molly's there like, I left my straighteners around Tommy's house when we were looking after the baby. Well, they're staying there. Yeah. I am not going around there. He's just got his brother around. You mean the world champion box? Oh, no, I'm staying away.
What do you mean? They're all round. Okay. Oh, and the dad. Nice. Nice. Yeah, what straighteners were they? £200? It's right, I'll put it on a credit card.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. I'm a Celebrity's back.
Yeah. Have you seen some of the people that have been linked with it?
No, I haven't, because I just think it's bollocks. Because they always go, oh, this person's rumoured. And then you see them all, like Joe. Let's probably not slag them off, because they might retweet one of our videos once. But they'll be like, these people are rumoured to go in the jungle. And then when they don't, they'll go, well, Ali McCoy just wanted like £6 million to go in there for like a day. So that's why he said, that's why we were wrong.
Yeah.
So now just wait until it comes out.
But to be fair, even when... Yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes they're on the money, but they're just on the money with the people. I don't know how, but they find out the people that are going to be on like late first. So like I would imagine, like Ali McCoy is one of them. I would imagine he's probably going to be one of the late ones.
Well, you'll notice when he's no longer on TalkSport. Yeah. Where's Ali? No, we just have to just.
Who's that Scottish bloke where the Ant and Dec are definitely Geordies, but there's some Scottish twang behind them as well.
There's a sunburnt Scotsman running down Queensland Beach. What happened? It's Ali McCoy, apparently.
And then Talisa's one of the other ones, isn't she?
Who?
Talisa, the N-Dubs.
No, that one.
No. Although I feel like she probably. Actually, I can tell you what I think might happen. She'll go in as the supermodel one. What happens every year when in I'm a Celebrity?
They send in a supermodel who's actually fucking half decent at it. Normally.
Yeah, but they send in a supermodel, and then they've got someone like, say, Sam Quek or someone that's famous for something else, and then they go in there, like, you're the supermodel. Like, I actually think you're hotter, like in terms of like.
So what you're saying is you watch I'm a Celebrity like a.
No.
All you can eat buffet.
No, I don't want to sound like a complete creep. I like the show. I like the.
Stop.
I was gonna say the bit at the end with the water slide. That sounds really.
The Typhoon or whatever it's called.
I wouldn't even really want to win it. I just want to get to that point. Do that. As you know, the meal.
Can you imagine if this podcast got famous enough that we went on I'm a Celebrity? How, like, who would have to say no for us to be on it?
Yeah.
Like, do you reckon Jack Mate is saying no to I'm a celebrity and that's my wig? The boys from Under the Cosh have said no. Who's that other sporting one? No, not the Crouch one. I don't want him.
Yeah.
You never know. I just turn up one day and go, Tom's gone. What do you mean Tom's gone? He's gone to Australia. I'll do this on my own then.
I'm doing it on Skype. Oh, no, hold on. I think he won't let me do it on Skype.
Just as you jump out the helicopter. Yeah, I thought he was really good. It would be quite entertaining. I think if you had to choose any of them, so let's go, I'm a Celebrity, Big Brother.
I never watched Big Brother.
Soccer Aid. You can't do Soccer Aid, I've seen you run. Strictly Come Dancing, Dancing on Ice, or what's the other one? There's another one. Let's just say those 6. Yeah. I can't remember what the other one is. Which one?
Oh, like Britain's Got Talent or X Factor or something?
No, it's Celebrity one. Like, we're celebrities now, apparently. We're YouTubers, we're famous. We're influencers to 13 people. Most of which are our family, but we're still influencers. Which of those 6 would they, if someone came to you and went, we give you X amount to go and do this, or X amount to go and do it, which one would be the, yes, I want to do that one, and which one would be the, fuck no?
I'm a Celebrity, I'd definitely do.
Would you?
Yeah. The only thing is,
I need to lose weight. I probably would do me some favours.
Yeah, that's the issue I've got, is I feel like, you know, they have those people that kind of go in and they're like, they didn't have that much weight to begin with. They're getting dangerously skinny. They're losing all their weight.
McKeith.
I'd probably be one of those people, I think.
What are you saying about me? I've got room to lose. I'm going on the I'm a Celebrity diet. I'm just going to eat rice and beans for.
That's what Freddie Flintoff said when he did it. He was like, he was supposed to go on a diet, and then he got asked to go on the Australian equivalent, and he was like, I'm not going to go on a diet.
Have you seen him talk about it though? He went, I can't remember where I saw it, and they were talking about, how did you find it? And he went, it's a piece of piss. You sit there, you piss off for 2 hours, you go and do some bush tucker trial, you come back and you sit there again. That's all. So you do I'm a Celebrity. I'd probably do I'm a Celebrity. Which one would you not want to do?
Dancing on Ice.
The same. I'd fall over and lose a finger. Someone would run over my fingers and I'd
do Soccer Aid. That'd be cool to do.
The look of I've just ended this podcast, haven't I?
Hopefully we're doing the podcast doing well enough so that we can both go and we're on opposite teams.
What, soccer?
You're there winding me up about my running and I'm just booting you from behind.
Probably.
It probably wouldn't actually affect you. You'd probably still be stood there like...
I'd be like...
It's a bit windy.
Oh, well, we got there in the end. We got to the end of the episode.
That took a hell of a detour in the last 20 minutes.
That was one hell of an episode. We started 3 times, talked about some cricket, talked about football, which we don't normally do because we support big rivals. Don't normally talk football, and ended up putting ourselves up to I'm a Celebrity. How many, just quickly before we go, how many followers and things like that do you reckon we would have to get before we were classed as celebrities enough to get asked to do Soccer Aid?
Probably 100,000. We got to go north of 100,000, I think.
So, what, on YouTube, TikTok, or which one? Or across the board? Or 100,000 on each?
No, probably 100,000 TikTok.
Okay, so we need
probably that's
99,909.
Yeah, that's probably the same on Instagram.
Oh, we've got quite a few followers on Instagram. I think we've got about 30. So with 99,970.
And then
YouTube?
You probably only need, say, 10,000 subscribers.
So we need 10,000 subscribers.
Have you seen, there's a TikTok actually this week I've seen where someone's talking about, I think it's like an OnlyFans person, they're talking about the jump up, like how they basically rise to fame kind of thing. It's like actually going from 100 to 2,000. I did this one video and it got seen everywhere. So going from 100 to 2,000 was really easy. Then go from 2,000 to 5,000 was pretty tough actually. Surprisingly tough, took me a little while. And then I just shot from 5,000 to 10,000. That only took like a week. I was like,
can we just shoot to 10? Is that too much to ask? Yeah. Oh, right. We've got to end this podcast because otherwise we're going to be on another fucking trail and we're going to still be sat here for another hour. Do you want to do the Patreon?
Oh yeah.
You know the advert that's at the beginning of the episode. Do you want to just explain?
Yeah. So we are now on Patreon. That gives you
He's
exclusive.
not remembered. He's not remembered.
Gives you exclusive. You get to see our videos before they go out to the general public.
You get to see. You get to see us.
You get to see the videos before they go out to the general public. You get to get a discount on merch when we start doing merch.
Bloody Bristol tops. I am seriously trying to work out how we can make them because I think that's going to be.
And we're going to have special episodes which will only be for our, I was going to say only fan subscribers. they're for our patrons. And Sam is now going to fill you in with the rest.
I think you've done a really good job of butchering that, but it's basically essentially it. It is you.
Oh, I also completely ran out of things to say, which is why
Priority
I
on the messaging.
Priority on the messaging.
And the discount on merch, like you said. The other thing, really, I didn't realise how important this was, and I probably would have pushed this before. When you see these videos on YouTube, and even if you do listen on Spotify, can you go on to YouTube and just press like? You don't have to watch the episode, just press like, because I didn't realise how important likes and subscriptions. Yeah. You don't even subscribe to our.
Do I not?
No, I don't think you do subscribe to our YouTube page.
I can't change that.
Are you doing it now? Live?
Yeah.
Live update.
Live update.
Like these episodes, subscribe, turn the bell on, whatever it is that you can do on YouTube to let you know when these episodes drop. Like Tom said, these come out on a Monday. On a Patreon, they come out on a Saturday. And then we are also on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, OnlyFans. Whatever you want to be on, Tom. You just keep telling me how we can make some money. But on all of them, it is From the Boundary. The Patreon is... Can you remember? Because you didn't actually say what that is.
Oh, it's From the Boundary Pod, is it?
From the Boundary Podcast. On Patreon. And it's also, if you ever want to get in contact with the podcast, the email address is fromtheboundarypod@gmail.com. You're going through and liking all the videos, aren't you?
Yeah.
You absolute. Do you know what you're like? You're like the girlfriend who's like, did you not see that Facebook post? I put that picture up of me and the kids and you've not liked it. I can't believe you've not liked it. And you just go, right, fuck it. Like. You're like everything. You're just spiteful now, aren't you?
It's not spiteful. I'm doing it.
Okay. Yeah, but if everyone else who listens did it, we'd be very grateful.
Yeah. We're now up to 2 subscribers.
Me and you. We've done really well.
Yeah. On that note, I think that will be a pod this week.
I think so. Just a heads up, the next couple of or next month, it's going to be a bit mad, isn't it? We've got to film a double header next week because I'm working the following week. And then the following week after that, we've got to do another double header because I'm on holiday. So...
And it's my birthday in the middle of all that.
And yeah, don't worry about that. It's not important. But yeah, so it might be a bit higgledy-piggledy.
No pressure, but for my last birthday, I got taken to the Caribbean. How much are you making from this podcast so far?
Have you subscribed to the podcast yet? No, you haven't. Not on Patreon. You put the £5 in, I'll give you the £5 back. How's that sound?
So great. So for my birthday, you're taking me to Margate.
For £5? Have you seen how expensive trains are now?
All right, we're hitching a ride to on the train to Margate, and then we're spending £5 in the arcade.
Tipping point. You answer questions, I'll give you £1 to go and change. Right, I think that's the end of the pod, don't you?
Thanks, guys.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye, Felicia.